everybody. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another week of Kingdom Builders Business University. Woo, we are so excited that you are here with us today. Yes, we are. So thank you for watching. Come on in the room. Let's get excited and go tell a friend that they need to tune in to Kingdom Builders Business University, also known as KBBU. That's right, with yours truly, KB Michelle Green. If you're wondering what KB stands for, listen, KB stands for Kingdom Builders. That's who we are. That is our brand, and that's what we represent. We represent building the kingdom through business universities. And this is a business university that helps people to learn about how to manage their business, how to expand their company, how to increase in clientele. We teach you all things business. That's right. So here at Kingdom Builders Business University, we have three opportunities for you. We have the associate certification. We have the bachelor certification, and we have the VIP Master Certification. That's right. We have three opportunities for you. What we consider you to be is an elite entrepreneur, because what do we do here at Kingdom Builders Business University? We exponentially empower the elite entrepreneur for excellence. And that's you. So you can do that through an associate certification, which is like our beginner level. Basic information, learning how to set up your business properly, making sure you got all of the documentations, your security for your insurance, your contracts, and all that together. Then going into business funding, which involves your money for your business. How are you making your money? How are you setting up your plans? How are you actually managing your business credit and your business loans, in addition to learning how to get those business grants? And then we help you with doing business management and life management. Now, as entrepreneurs, we know all too well that just being an entrepreneur and trying to balance our business and our lifestyles, that is a heavy, weighty type of thing. Okay, that is something that we have to juggle. We play this juggling game all day long with managing our business and managing our life. But guess what we do here at Kingdom Builders Business University? We help you to get that management down pat. We show you systems in our courses to help you to get that business together. That's right. That's exactly what we do. So we want to make sure that you know all of the things that are available for you right here at Kingdom Builders Business University. And in addition to that, guess what we also do, y'all? We help you with marketing, with media, with sales. We teach you the strategies that can put you in front of 3.6 billion viewers through CTR Media Network, which is where we are streamed live every single time, every Wednesday from 12 to 12:30. Listen, we want to make sure that you are winning. You are winning fully. So if you come over to the associate certification, if you go and extend your education through the bachelor certification, or if you come into the VIP master certification, we will make sure that you're not just getting education, but that you're able to implement. That's right, implement the same things that you are learning so that it will apply to your business and allow your business to excel, to grow, to expand, and do the things that you want your business to do. That's right. If you're trying to plan to leave a legacy, if you're trying to hire some people, if you're trying to grow and open up some new locations, then guess what? All of those things are made available to you right here at Kingdom Builders Business University. So thank you. Thank you for being here, and let's go and share the wealth of knowledge and information. We aren't just here just to be Here, we are here to help you, the elite entrepreneur, to be able to do business the right way and a better way than what you ever have done before. Okay. All right. So let's get into today's topic. Every week, we bring to you a particular business strategy or a way in which you can help improve your business. So today, we are talking about who is the right fit for your business, who is the right fit to bring into your organization. Because, see, all too well, we know that when we first start out as business owners, especially if this is something that we started from scratch, that there wasn't anybody in our families, there was nobody that handed us this opportunity to be an entrepreneur, then we are very protective of our companies. We are very protective of not revealing our secrets of how we set our businesses up, how we put everything together, how we are even managing our business even today. We keep that a secret because we assume that we can do it all our life. But the truth of the matter is that we don't have the opportunity to do business all of our life. We have to understand that life is going to happen and there is a need to be able to have employees, to be able to have independent contractors, to be able to have other people that would help us as a business owner to expand our companies and grow our industries. That's right. So, how can we do that if we don't know who's the right fit for our businesses? And we don't even take the opportunity to get to know anybody so that we can figure out who's the right fit for our companies and who's not the right fit for our companies. Well, today I want to talk about a little bit about, not too much in detail, because if you want to go in detail, then you need to get into the associates or the bachelor's certification classes and we can talk about that in detail. But I want to talk a little bit today about the one who is the right fit for you. When we consider a person to come into our organization and be able to help us out with the responsibilities, the duties, all of the things that we have to do as a business owner to keep that business running, we think about people who will really get the job done. And sometimes we have a mindset that is beyond, it's like a fantasy idea that we have around the type of people who are going to be the right fit. So, what I want us to understand about when it comes to the time that we need to hire people, we have to consider four different categories. The first category is, do we have a volunteer? The second category is, do we have an intern? Someone that is interning in our particular business industry, or maybe just in the position of the duties that we need help in. Is there anybody that we know at a nearby college, university? Is there anybody that we have any type of connections with that could be an intern for the summer or even off season? If there is somebody that can be an intern throughout the year, because listen, the kids that are going to school, the young adults that are going to college and universities, they need the experience. So we need to truly take into consideration that an intern can actually be someone that can help out our businesses. That's two people right there that we can think of, a volunteer and an intern. And then we want to look at the independent contractor. The independent contractor is a person who has a particular gift, skill, or talent that is actually skilled in the duties and the position that you hold that you need the help in. So even if you don't necessarily need a lot of help in that area, if they have the particular skill set, for example, customer service, billing, maybe they are good at receptionist, whatever position that you need to fill, for somebody answering the phones, for somebody checking the emails, for somebody that is going to send out the marketing and media information on a regular basis. Now, that's a big one, but that is definitely a duty that is needed for all businesses. So, what do we need to do? We need to consider the person who has a professional skill in a particular craft or industry or particular skill set that they have been exercising for over a year, 2 years, 5 years, 15 or 20 years. It doesn't matter how long they have been skilled at what they are doing. An independent contractor is someone who knows how to get the job done without questioning you on a regular basis once you bring them into your company. So that's number three. Number four is when we hire an employee. Well, when we bring on a employee, which is very different from bringing on a intern, a volunteer, an intern, or a independent contractor, what we want to understand about a employee is that they are going to be our full responsibility. And as a employer, we have to understand that when we bring in an employee, we are bringing in somebody who we have to treat like our own. Just like having a baby, we want to treat an employee like our own children, like our own baby, like our own responsibility, because with a employee, we're responsible for not just compensation, but we are responsible for their health care. We're responsible for them being able to save money and invest. We're responsible for other things to make sure that if they get sick or if they get down and out, they can't come to work, they can't do the job, then we are taking on the responsibility to have them, taken care of. Maybe we have a health plan that's in place for them to be able to go to the gym, or maybe we have a nap time plan in place for them to be able to take naps on the job at a certain time or a certain day. Maybe we have a relaxation day where they can come to work just as they are instead of having to dress up and to be in a professional setting with professional attire. That's when we begin to change the game of who is really the right fit for us. So when we are in the beginning stages and we're looking at what type of person should we bring into our organization, especially for those of us who really don't trust anybody, who really don't have any type of confidence that anyone could do the position the way that we want the position fulfilled, to actually achieve those duties that we have set out, that we have laid out on a plain piece of paper or in a file online, that explains everything that we need done. See, when it comes to the right fit, what we want to first understand is what type of person do we want to bring in? Do we want to bring in the volunteer? So let's talk about a volunteer. A volunteer can be anyone. Majority of the time is somebody that we know, is somebody that is not just a volunteer like in a nonprofit situation, but a volunteer can be anybody that is connected to you in some way. It could be a neighbor, it could be a family member, it could even be a friend. But what we do know is that when it comes to a volunteer, the person who wants to come into your organization may be the right fit and they may not be the right fit. When we look at volunteers, volunteers are usually very passionate about who we are as the boss. They are very passionate around wanting to help us and to make sure that the business excels, that it exceeds and increases in volume and in profits and all of the great things about business. So we want to check and make sure that not just a volunteer is thinking about how they feel about you as the boss, as the employer, but we want to consider that a volunteer is somebody who you will outline how long they will be with you and can they actually perform the duties that are needed, even though they are willing to do it for free. Because when we think about volunteers, Is that volunteer a right fit for you for the timeline just because you need somebody to fill the position right now? Or is it that you have the volunteer that you have actually analyzed, like, listen, can they actually perform the duties that I need right now for my business? Or am I just hiring on a spur of the moment opportunity for to have somebody fill in the spot in place of myself? So when we think about volunteers, we want to make sure that volunteer is the right fit. Just because somebody believes in your vision, believes in your business, or believes in you, just period, in anything that you do, does not mean that they are the right fit for your organization. So you got to really consider, would them coming into your organization be a benefit? Would it be something that would allow your business to really grow and increase? Or would it be something that would be more of training and more time that has to be taken out for them to learn the work that is there for them to do and take away from what you already have going on? See, most of us don't really think about that when we are dealing with volunteers, when we're dealing with anybody that we need to bring into our organization. What we think about is, okay, I got to fulfill this position and I don't really have time to continue to do it all by myself. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring in this volunteer because they are willing to help me. I want you to stop and pause right here. I want you to cut out this mindset of doing things in a hurried, rush manner or doing things just because the help is available. And I want you to really think about, how can they help increase your business, and would it take more time, energy, and even money for them to come in as a volunteer than it would be for you to hire a skilled professional? Okay, let's just think about that. Is that person the right fit for you? Let's talk about interns for a minute. One of the things that I've been experiencing this past week is, I have a son who is 13 years of age. And even though he is not in college, what I have encountered this week is that my son wants to do some work. He wants to do some work. So he has been talking to me all this past week about having some type of work that I can give him to do so that he can begin to earn some money for the summer. So when I say that, what we want to consider when we think about the intern, we want to consider, how long is this person going to be with us? And the same for the volunteer. Are we hiring somebody just for a season? Are we hiring somebody for a particular load that we have during a certain time of the year? Like some of us in business, we have big seasons during holiday season, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, during the new year. We have big business. We have money coming in. We have a lot of clients flowing through. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, there are seasons just like the holiday season where it may be the timeline for where we don't have any business going on at all. And we have to learn how to maintain off of what we have earned in the earlier parts of the year. So, depending on what season you're in as a business owner, you first need to know who is right for your business based on your own business and what your business is doing in a particular season. Because when we think of an intern or a child that you hire and beginning at the age of 14, because the age of 14 is when you could actually bring on a child in your business. And you could hire someone at an earlier age, but with restrictions and limitations. So I want you to think about this. Think outside of the box. When we talk about a child that is under the age of 18, a young adult who is coming into the equation of working for us as an intern, we want to consider, how long will you need this person? How long do we need them to work within our organization? Why is that important? Because if we don't understand that an intern is still going to focus on the fact that they are there to go to school, they're trying to get the education so that they can fulfill the position after they graduate. So if we don't have in our mind that the intern may or may not be the right fit for our business, then we will be hurting our business in the long run, because maybe we would become accustomed to an intern, assuming that because they have done a great job, because they're already going to school for to get the education in the industry or the position that we hold. Listen, we could be thrown off when it's time for them to go back to school, when it's time for them to go from being out for the summer and totally being focused on your business. It could be the wrong fit if you don't understand that they have to get back to what their main job is for their life. And their main job for their life is to get an education. So they are not focused on your business duties for only but a particular season. So we got to understand that before we hire anybody, we got to make sure that this person is the right fit. Okay? Just like my son, who has been begging me for a job for the past week since he found out, some of the income, he saw some of the income that we earn as a business in just one of our companies, and he's decided that, hey, I got some goals of achieving a vehicle after he gets to a certain age of being able to drive, and he wants to invest some money so that he can start putting some money away for when he turns 18 and 21. But guess what? He knows that he can't do that if there isn't consistent income. But just because an intern or a young individual under the age of 18 or a young adult that is in college, going to a university or a technical school or whatever, just because they need the money, it doesn't mean that they may be the right fit for your organization. Because what you got to think about is what's going to be their main focus. What are the things that they are going to involve themselves in as they are working within your organization? So that leads me to talk about the independent contractor. The independent contractor may be a better fit for your business depending on how long you need someone to fulfill the duties of whatever it is that you need done in your organization. When we think about that intern, I want you to really consider that an intern is someone who is going to be contracted with your company for a minimum of at least 12 months. Now, of course, you can set up a contract with the independent contractor for however long you desire. But when I think of being a business owner, I think of a business owner always contracting someone when it comes to independent contractors to contract that person for at least 12 months to try them out with their particular professional skill, gift, or talent. So if they are talented, gifted, or skilled in the duties that you need done in your organization, perhaps maybe you need someone in marketing. You need someone to get into all of the social media platforms, being able to post those videos or create them, to create the content and be able to put it out there and make sure it's done at a particular time every day. If that is what you need, then you want to make sure that that person is skilled in that industry, but you also want to make sure that they are contracted for a length of time that is going to be beneficial for your business to be able to look back over the year and see if there has been progress. And that will allow you to later on decide in the following years if you want to stay with this particular independent contractor or not. You have to decide if the independent contractor is the right fit for you based on how they perform. Did they perform well? Did they allow your business to increase in profits, in revenue? Did they allow new clientele to come into your organization, especially if you're hiring someone for marketing and media. If you're hiring someone so that they can bring in a new group of clients or customers for your organization, you need to make sure that whatever position you're hiring them in, that they have improved your business overall within the last 12 months. Sometimes when we hire independent contractors, we think of hiring them for maybe 3 months or 6 months, but this is a professional. This is not an intern. This is not a volunteer. A volunteer could come in today and be gone next week. An intern usually is just for a season. When we think of an independent contractor, we're thinking for at least 1 year. So we want to understand that depending on the type of person that we bring into our organization will also depend on the timeline that we need our duties fulfilled. So if we're looking for someone that is going to stick around for a while, we got to at least test the waters with the individual for at least 12 months. Give them a chance to possibly redeem themselves. Maybe you have worked with them before and maybe there wasn't progress. Maybe there was not any increase in volume or increase in sales. But even though that may have been the case, it could have been a different type of situation going on in their life. It could have been a different situation going on in your life. Or maybe you're talking about hiring a new independent contractor, somebody you never ever dealt with before in your life. And that is absolutely okay. That is what we should be doing as independent contractors, bringing in people who are skilled for the duties that we need fulfilled. We don't need to always think of it as we got to know the people. What we need to be confident in is understanding that our focus, even as business owners, are that we need to focus on our products and services and teach our people who come into our organization as a employee, as an independent contractor, as an intern or a volunteer. Everyone needs to know how to push that product or service and make it better every single day. So, as it relates to the independent contractor, don't be fooled by not knowing who they are or what background they have and all of the different things that we think we have to know about a person before we hire them. Focus on what can they do to improve your business. Now, of course, we don't want just anybody in our organization. We want them to be able to flow with our beliefs, our vision, and the things that we have going on and the way that our customers are drawn to us. But we overall want to think about, can they perform the duties that we have in need of? Can they do it well? And can they bring in profits to our organization? And then, last but not least, the employee. When we think of the employee, we want to think of the employee as a person who is with us for the long haul. Before we decide to hire a employee, we want to think about, is this a person who we really want to be with us for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30, or 40 years? We want to think about and consider, is this person the right fit, not just for this position, but will they be able to improve and be promoted to a even higher position in the organization before we hire an employee? Before we decide to bring on someone who we consider to be permanent for our timeline of being a business owner, we want to really do the background check. We want to really check the skills, gifts, and talents. We want to get to know these kind of individuals so we will be sure that they are the right fit for our organization. So, as it relates to all of the different positions of people that we can hire, let's take in consideration, do we need them to be here today and gone next week? Do we need them to come in just for a particular season? Do we need to test the waters with them for the year, or do we want them for a lifetime? Okay, so when we think about being a business owner, there's a lot that we need to take into consideration. Who is the right fit for your duties, for the job that you have, for the work that needs to be performed in your organization to keep those products and services going and flowing? That's right. Who do we need to hire when it relates to the right fit for our companies? So if you learned something today from KB.MichelleGreen, yours truly, if you have any interest in learning more about these different positions or anything else as it relates to being a business owner, just know that you can come on over to www.kbbullc.com and you can get into one of our associate certifications, bachelor certifications, VIP master certifications, and you can learn everything that you need to learn about improving, increasing your business income, allowing your revenues and profits to skyrocket, and being able to be a person who can leave a legacy for your family, for your friends, your neighbors, for your community, to be able to excel in your business going forward pretty much forever. All right, until next Wednesday, make sure that you are subscribed so that you will not miss the notification of when we go live right here at Kingdom Builders Business University. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye bye.